Hey, I'm Joker. He's in the studio with future music. And we're going to chat about some music. We kind of chat about a track called On My Mind. Give me a second. The Vision. The Vision. What was the other one, mate? Skitta. Skitta. I think that was it, bro. Yeah. You don't want to hear no more of that, do you? No more of that, I don't want to hear no more. Yeah. That is Largo. It's like it's got all your normal waveforms, then it's got a sine wave, just sawtooth and all that. But then it's got all these digital waveforms, which are like, they actually don't normally sound like that. It's more like, how do I turn it off? Yeah, so you've heard these kind of waveforms before, right? There's loads of them. Just sound like normal digital waveforms, yeah? And to make that sound, I was kind of listening to this and I was doing that. And it took me about an hour to figure out how can I get the synth to do that by itself, do you know what I mean? So what I've done is like, I actually don't know what I've done. No, I do. So I sent an LFO, so it hits once to get that. And I've sent that to the, I don't know what I sent that to. It just kind of, what would you call that when you're kind of going through, not through the whole wave tool, but you're kind of changing the form of one digital sound?
Cross modulation.
Yeah, something like I just kind of gone through the whole thing. And you could put on any of them. And it sounds crazy.
So you didn't make that sound yourself?
Yeah. Which you can see just sounds like mad. Yeah. Ultra beat.
Yeah.
But I found like when you put samples into ultra beat, they don't sound the same after. And well, to be honest, I got told they don't sound, the transients go a bit funny when you put them in there. And I got Geist and it was like straight away my drums were sounding better. But with the ultra beat, I just used it to like program my drums, and then I'd turn them into, I'd export them out into audio and then process them either with software or hardware to make them sound however I want them to sound. Do you know what I mean?
So you didn't actually process any of those in the box, ultra beat stuff?
Compression or EQ on those drums?
Let me have a look. Do you know what it's like? It's weird. Like every few months I look at a tune. I look back at it and go, I wouldn't actually do that now. Like, why did I do that? There's actually no compression on the kick. There's just a noise gate, and I don't know why. Probably a noisy kick. But like, I would have less bass or a kick with more attack if I was to make it now. If that makes sense. The snare is layered up. See, that's actually a shit snare, but I like the attack it's got on it. So I'd have like a clap for like the brightness of it and just anything with a nice tight transient just to make it feel like it's hitting, do you know what I mean? And there's probably way too many things on this snare, it just doesn't make no sense. Yeah, but there's no compression on them. It's just limiting and distortion, more saturation. That's all I do.
There's
like
no set channel script you could run.
No. Every tune's different. Even though my beats are the same boring beat, you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, every tune's different. Like I said, if I went back to this now, I'd mix this down different. And I probably wouldn't even use that kick. Last time I had the same mic, which is the Neumann U87i or AI, something like that. And that was, like I feel like sometimes as a producer, everyone's learning every day and you take on too much advice from people, if that makes any sense. So if you know someone does something that way and they're getting a slightly good sound, you feel like you need to do it that way when really you don't need to do it that way, or you don't need all these things. I had the mic going into like the Chandler preamp, and then after that it was going into 1136, after that it was going into the LA2A, and I was just like, yeah, blood, man's got this sick chain, fam. Yeah, you got this chain, though, blood. Like, you ain't got that. And like, to be honest, I didn't actually need that shit. Now, I just put my mic straight into the Manly Slam with a touch of compression, and it goes in my computer sounding better than that whole bad man chain I was doing, do you know what I'm saying? But then, once the vocal's inside the computer, I'd then de-S it. I know a lot of people turn the S's down. I ain't got time for that shit. I'd rather be playing Call of Duty. Do you know what I mean? So I'd de-S it, and then I'd take it out of the computer and put it through the 1176s, and through the LA2A, and then through the massive passive. Like the top end in there, so it's not harsh. You couldn't even get a harsh sound from it if you wanted to. You can turn it too much and it just sounds nice still, do you know what I mean? Or even this. But I prefer this on vocals because it's more of a silkier sound, do you know what I mean? Yeah, the levels are everywhere. I'm gonna have to mute the drums now. And you know what? This tune actually made all in the box apart from when it gets here. Hold on, where is it? All that is actually from that. The virus here. And where's the next bit? That's all from here. And yeah, like I said, all my sine waves, that's just EXS24. How many different sine waves can I be? Do you know what I mean? Unless it's from something like that, which sounds completely a lot. I would say it sounds a lot rounder, but like, I felt like if I was to use the sine wave from the Moog on here, it wouldn't be the right sound. Because it's a bit, this might sound stupid, but it's a bit too warm for this tune, if that makes sense. But like if I was using, if I want to make a bass line from there, I'd save that patch. Say it was like a square bass line, yeah? Instead of actually using it as a bass line, I would cut the bottom end off it inside Logic and replace the square wave with the sine wave and then layer that underneath it. Do you know what I mean? Or if like, any one of the hardware synths, if I was using, because when people talk of bass lines, it's always layered really these days, isn't it? You've always got like your sub, which is the sine wavers, I think. And then it's more like a lead sound on top, innit? So if I was to use one of these, and it had like a bit of portamento on it, I'd actually use a sine wave from there, so the portamento was exactly the same. Does that make sense? my shit's set up weird because I've not. This doesn't have a master bus insert, so I've had to go out of here into the API, into the GML, and then I've got a wire that's been made for me that splits off 4 ways, or 2 ways, but with 4 cables. 2 of the cables go to the shit mono control, which is shit. Don't buy it. Don't buy that. And then 2 of the channels go back in here so I can record the whole mix. Like I said, every time I make a tune or I change my process, you know what I mean? But before I'd always like have stuff on master. Like I've never had compression on master until I'm using it out of the box. It sounds so much bigger, do you know what I mean? When I used to use stuff inside the box on compression, it just sounded like it was squeezing my tune, or I could have just been doing it wrong. Because like I used to put limiter, I used to build into a limiter. I used to have my L2 on there, or like the Sonox Oxford one. Is it Sonox? It is Sonox, isn't it? But it's like Sony as well. Is that right? I used to have that on there, and like, you know, it's got that lever where it kind of enhances it as well. It's like the inflator, but on the limiter. So I'd build into that, and I was like, yeah, it sounds big, but really, it didn't sound big. It just sounded loud, and loud doesn't actually mean big, because I could just turn it up with a quieter mix that sounds bigger. So now, just like, I'd have nothing on all my outputs, because I use 8 outputs, so I can sum into the sum mixer, and I'd have, say that's the meters in Logic, I'd have all my channels run at least halfway or just above, but never going into the red, you know what I mean? Because like, I can open up one of my old tunes now and be like, the mix is shit, and if I grab all the channels and turn them down, the mix will get bigger. It's because it's just running way too hot, you know what I mean? But it depends how you mix or what sound you're looking for, because I know a lot of people who do mix very loud and that's a part of their sound, but that's not the sound I like. The drums. There's not a lot of drums, is there? Yeah. I know people who process drums as audio. Like, not as an audio, but like, they make their pattern with, do you know what I mean? Like drum samples, that is long. The thing I like about guys, most drum machines can do that now, but it's like you can split all your different channels and you can EQ or do certain things to different samples, do you know what I mean? Instead of having to mix all the drums down in one channel. Oh, have I got going? Okay. See, that's the kick before. You can just hear that I've added a bit more tops to it and taken a bit of the low end out. Would you agree?
Yeah. So what sound then?
Probably too much shit. I've got just a Logic EQ. This is when I'm being lazy. I just use Logic EQs. I actually don't like the. I only use a Logic EQ when I want to make something sound dirty. Like if I got a bass line and I want that like tight, dirty mid-range, I just use Logic EQ because it just doesn't sound good. If that makes any sense. It just makes the mid-range sound dirty, which I'd like when I want it to sound like that. But yeah, I just got this cut from like 39.5 on the bottom end. I've got an exciter on there, bringing the tops out a bit more. What is this doing? Yeah, that's bringing up more of the tops again. I got a bit crush on there just to like kind of brick wall it so just tight, do you know what I mean? But like I said, I won't do it on every tune, every different tune. Every tune's different, do you know what I mean? Why I like this thing is like, it's almost kind of like a multi-band compressor, but you can listen to all the different frequencies. So, if I turn it on, so you can hear just the bottom end there, yeah? And you can like saturate just the bottom end of this. That's without saturation. Oh no, where's the compressor? You can really hear that though, innit? It's just easy to get certain frequencies tighter and warmer. On the snares. So this is more like a, just for the top end, I've just got some 10k boost there, and a bit around 1k. And I got the sausage fattener. Sausage fattener! If you don't eat pork, this ain't for you. It's just like a, it's kind of like a brick wall limiter, but it doesn't squeeze things. Do you know what I mean? You know some limiters, you pull the threshold down and things get a bit squeezed. This is just like in your face. And I got that layered with this snare here. And I got this one for the top end. And just some very squashed hi-hats through it as well. Does that explain things good?
And all of that's coming from Geist?
Yeah, I've got none of it's in audio. I think I mixed this one all down in the box actually. Yeah, all of it's just MIDI. The whole track's MIDI. I made pretty much the whole tune on Nexus. If you haven't got it, you should get it. Yeah, so with the bass now, like I said, unless I'm using one of the hardware keyboards to get the bass line from, like the top end of the bass, for me to get the low end, I'd use one of the hardware ones. But if I'm just using software, I just use straight EXS24 with the 3 dots that you was talking about. I never actually noticed that before. And just, yeah, pull it into, oh, about to say mono, but it's actually in mono now. What have I got on the bass? I've cut all the top end out because sometimes I feel like when you press the note you can kind of hear like weird noises like that, do you know what I mean? So I just cut it all out and it just seems to fix it for some reason. And I got it, there's a bit of a boost around 50 there. The compressor, oh, what's going on there? Ooh, plugins. That's because I haven't bought a UAD plugin, that's not a crack. What's going on here? Yeah, so the compressor is actually not compressing. I've got it sidechained because I like my kicks quite heavy and I like my bass heavy and bass is heavy, do you know what I'm saying? So I have to sidechain my kick to my, like, not that much, but you know what I'm saying? So if you've kind of got a kick in the kind of same range as the sub, can just, when a kick comes in, the bass moves out the way and it can do its thing. I've seen a lot of people saying like, you shouldn't have to sidechain, you should be able to have both of them and just kind of find their places, which in a way, I kind of agree, but I just find it easier to do it this way instead of me trying to make shit work. I'm lazy. Yeah, that's the bass really. It's just nothing done to it. It's just got the R compressor on there for this, which is sidechained to the kick from Geist. What I do sometimes, I don't actually want to say this because I like doing it, and I don't know a lot of people that do it. I'm not saying it's some secret special thing I got, but what I'll do, say for instance this synth here. I've actually got this bass line here, but a copy of it, which is that one there. So I'll have the copied version and the synth go into a bus, and then I saturate them together. I'll have a copy of the actual sub bass, so I'll have two of them. One of them sent to the bus, sent to a bus with the main synth line, which is that one. And then I saturate them both together, so it makes this kind of sound. Can you hear it's like got a lot of energy now, you know what I mean? Compared to and then I take all the bass out of that. And then bring in the original bass. Kind of gives it aggressive feeling, do you know what I mean? And then for these synths, what have I got to go down? So this is just like a dance lead, but I've taken away the attack, so it was kind of like I've taken an attack all the way down, so it's like it feels like it's kind of reversing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, no, people see all these things and all the plugins I got and all the gear and all the synths and think I'm some, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, but I'm not the best at it, if that makes sense. Like they, you know, like, for instance, people buy this shit thinking it's gonna make shit sound amazing when really it doesn't work like that. So when I'm saying what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is like, this is just my opinion on things. This ain't the right way. This is just how I do shit. Some people's listening going, this nigga. When I was younger, me and my friend Jemmy, do you know, we used to use Reason and we would be like, we'd have a week without making tunes and all that week, all we'd do is make sounds. And it was good because like, even to this day, a lot of people depend on presets like me. Do you know what I mean? That's why they're there, just this easy, quick sounds, just, do you know what I mean? Just trying to find the right one, but like, the thing that's good about this, it reminds me of like something like this or something like this, you know what I mean? It's like a Rompler, which is like something like a Triton or something, which has got loads of different sounds from dance sounds to orchestral sounds. All you need is that and some drums and you can make anything. Do you know what I mean? It's limited where you can't like change the waveforms or you can't really go in, but the sounds, the layers you can change and the effects that are on them, which is good enough. And there's thousands of sounds in there. Like, certain people don't like it because they say it sounds too dancey, but there's more than just dance things in there now, do you know what I mean? There's billions of sounds. When I updated it, one of the updates mashed up on me, and I stopped making music for 3 days because I didn't want to work without it. I was like, fuck this, I'm not making music. I waited for the update. What were you going to say?
On the actual channel, there seems to be loads of plugs.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed of that. There's too many plugins. But like, I'm pretty sure if I took away every single one of them but one, it would sound the same. But you know when you're making music, it's like, plug in. Yeah, but let me see what's actually going on here. at the time, I'm pretty sure it made sense for a billion plugins, you know what I mean? No, do you know what? I can explain why there's so many plugins. I can explain. It looks like a lot because it is a lot, but they're all actually doing things that not one could just do. Do you know what I mean? So like 2 of them is Neve EQs from UAD, but there's only a certain amount of places you can boost on your one. So I might need 2 to boost in 2 different places. That makes sense. One of them's a tremolo. Is that the right way to say it? I've actually never said that, I don't think. Just giving it that kind of like, you know what a tremolo does, you know what I mean? One of them's reverb for, I wonder what a reverb does. I don't know that actually, no. The reverb does the reverb thing, I think. Do you think someone's gonna take me serious? No. One of them's a sausage fattener, so it's like, I could have compressed it, but like, you know when a sound kind of gets past its barrier and like, you try to turn it down, but then it's too quiet, and you try to turn it up and then it gets too loud at a certain point. I just use a sausage fattener to keep it there. Do you know what I mean? You're not going anywhere, stay there, lock you up. Nowhere, stay there, there.
That's what it's good for.
Yeah, to keep shit there. Same with this one, just 2 Neve EQs because I was probably trying to tweak certain frequencies that one couldn't do. It needed to be 2, you know what I mean? That's why I like this one, because 2 of the bands are exactly the same. So you can do, does that make sense? And it's just got a stereo tool on there to make it more wider. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, I can't seem to find my way. I'm drowning. Baby, why you so fly? I'm caught up in your soul vibe. Rumor has it that you want a man with a big digital following. I know this could seem kind of forward, but you meant for me, girl, I'm sure of it. I see your body, I just can't find the words to say. This ain't no virtual fantasy, girl, we got a sensual chemistry. We can't imagine all the things I'm gonna do to you. I ain't like them other dudes, no, you're no good for my health. I keep telling myself that it's all good. I don't need you, so how come you still stick around? You've been.
Yeah.
Did you record those vocals here?
Oh, my mum's. Whatever your mum's. That actually was a lot of problem. It's weird, when we was recording, that's when I was using the whole 1176 chain. But he liked it, like, I had them turn up really loud, the input. But it's like when he talked quiet, he liked the whole, like that whole, everything can be heard. And I was like, so I had to kind of just like let him have what he wanted. But it made a lot of problems when it come to mix it down because they were turned up so loud. All the background noise was just there, do you know what I mean? Like even when he was just going like, I could have cut them out, but it was so close to the words, like it was weird. I was like, I had so much problem, I didn't even mix the vocals myself. That guy that come here, Andy, he's got like a big desk and 3 times the amount of that shit there. And he just like put it through the desk, tracked it up and mixed it and like sent me a cappella. But the thing about this tune is like, we didn't want to use all this. Like, to me, that was the only thing letting the tune down. Like, because what it was, I actually started the tune was just this. I was just playing with some orchestral songs, you know what I mean? Then it got to drop and I was just like, I had this.
Baby, why you?
Hold on, didn't have no vocals. I was like, alright. And I loaded up Synth, you know that plugin? By Leonard Digital. I was like, is that how you say it? And like I always do, flip through some presets and that, digga-da, digga-da. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, no, that sounds too much like that Justin Timberlake track, yeah? I was like, all right, cool. I got the idea. All I need is something to replace that. So he put the vocals down, and we literally went through about 1,000 different presets, tried to make loads of different sounds, and every single song we tried just didn't sound as good as that. And it was like really annoying, because I knew the second someone hears it, here's a male vocal singing quite high, and Justin Timberlake's gonna come in ahead, and I was like, I don't want that to happen. I don't want people to try and look at him and buoy him off for it, because it's not his problem. I'm the one that put that in there, do you know what I mean? But I was like, yeah, I was like, fuck it. Just have to go with it, do you know what I mean?
Good.
It's like, there was nothing. We done a live cover of it, and we played Rhodes instead of the Trancey Gate stuff, and it sounded good, but it didn't have that edge, you know what I mean? I think I got a version of it, actually.
Has it that you want a man with a big digital?
But it's not got that edgy vibe to it. It sounds like a soul tune, you know what I mean?
Seem kind of forward, but you're meant for me, girl. I'm sure of it. I see your body. I just can't find.
Yeah, it would be the EXS, but it's as a audio file now. For some reason, I can't remember how I've done this tune, but that, can you hear the sound wave going funny? It's already been sidechained to the kick. You can hear the kick in it as well, and it's weird. But yeah, that would have been EXS 24. Yeah, like I said, all of these are, that's all silent. I've not really got much processing there, it's just, I've brought out kind of like the bottom mids and didn't want to bring out too much of the high mids because I knew there was going to be vocals in there and I didn't want it to get in the way of the vocals. And I've just got a low version. Hold on. I've got that version, the high one. I've got a low one. And I've got a mono one, so I've used this, I've duplicated the high one and created a mono version, and then turned the mono one up a bit because not everywhere the tune's going to be played is going to be on a stereo system. It could be a mono system. Like I've played at clubs or festivals, I don't know why, but the whole rig's in mono. So if you've got a big wide tune, it sounds like that. So I made sure it's going to sound slightly decent in mono. So do you know what I mean? I've made a mono version and turned it up. Because this one's a bugger. All these strings are, all the strings and pianos are like native instruments in East-West. But like, for like really dramatic strings, I like the Project Sam stuff. I feel like with the East-West stuff, that's really, 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 really good. But you got to do a lot of layering to get like that dramatic feeling. And with the did I just say East-West, yeah? With the Project Sam stuff, it's like, you load one preset, it's just like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, all that's all contact pianos. East-West. And that's not working. I think all these drums would have been done in Oh, these were done in machine. But I've bounced them out as all as audio so I can process them through some of these stuff, you know what I mean? So with this kick, if I'm guessing right, and what it sounds like to me, that's just gone through like the fatso, probably not even compressed it, I've just saturated it a bit and EQ'd it a bit, you know what I mean? This snare's already layered up, and I'd say I've probably gone through the fatso as well and just done a bit of EQing in the mid-range just to bring out the snap of it, do you know what I mean? And I've a bit around there, which kind of adds that bottom end to it, do you know what I mean? I used to, when I was younger, like when I was like 16, 17, I used to like cut my snares like that. Because I used to think, yeah, the snares are in the top end, so there doesn't need to be no bottom end in there, but not realising the bottom end's what gives it that snap, you know what I mean? These are just got... Yeah, this is a good EQ. DMG audio. I've just kind of taken down the top end as a shelf from like where is that? From like 11k to 40k. That sounds, but it's because the tune's in 96, it goes past 20, even though you can't hear it. But if you boost near 40, it makes a difference. It's weird. And I've got it just boost around 2k to bring out the mid in it, because the other side kind of sounds kind of tinny, you know what I mean?